The sun was blazing high in the sky when qualifying arrived in Montreal. It was a Red Bull in the form of Daniel Ricciardo who claimed pole position, only 6/1000ths of a second from Kimi Raikkonen. Max Verstappen initially qualified third, but a gearbox penalty dropped him down to 8th. Toro Rosso rookie Pierre Gasly split the two Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton in for his 6th win here in Canada. Both Haas cars made it into the top 10 shootout. Now let's go down to Sean for the full grid.
Daniel Ricciardo took his first pole position of the season ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, who also achieved his best this season. Max Verstappen lines the front row alongside Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas is the highest of the two Mercedes with Pierre Gasly in between. Lance Stroll made it into Q3 at his home race, followed by both Haas drivers, the first time both cars have made it into Q3. Nico Hülkenberg just missed out on the third part of qualifying, as did Stoffel van Dorn. It's an all-Spanish row 7 Carlos Sainz ahead of Fernando Alonso. Both Renaults only made Q2, however the Force India struggled with that. Pascal Wehrlein split the pink team, leaving Perez in 18th. Felipe Massa had his worst qualifying of the season. He is alongside Marcus Ericsson. Not long to go until the race starts here in Canada.
What is up, guys? We are back and we are here for round 7 of the 2017 career mode. We had a fantastic qualifying down in P5, splitting the two Mercedes. Our second race here as Pierre Gasly. Coming up to the end of the formation lap and the start of the race sequence. We got 5 lights on and we are underway. It's a fantastic start from Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi Raikkonen is going to go side by side with Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1. Sebastian Vettel gets off very well as well. We've got to try and get around Valtteri Bottas coming into turn 2, but Ricciardo is still fighting to keep control of the lead that he has here against Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi Raikkonen is not going to relinquish that. He's going to go wide and he's going to hit the wall. So that is Daniel Ricciardo out into first place and holding on to that first place position. We're going to have a look at a replay of our teammate of Carlos Sainz, who's going to get off to a fantastic start. He's going to get past the McLaren of Fernando Alonso. He's going to have a look at Nico Hülkenberg in his Renault. At the same time, he can get past in turn 1. Looks like turn 2 is going to be his only option, and it looks like he has made that position. So 2 positions off the start line is fantastic. We're still on that point. We're going to have a look at the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas down into the hairpin. We're going to squeeze him, make him go a little bit wide, and we are going to take that position. Thank you very much, Mr. Bottas. So that is it, done, sorted, and we are now into a very strong P4, which is very good for us considering we finished, I think it was P5 last race. But Kevin Magnussen has got one hell of a move on against Max Verstappen. It looks like he's going to take him nice and easy down. He's going to be very compromised on the exit here, trying not to hit the wall of champions, and Max Verstappen does get ahead, but I've got a feeling that that is going to be very shortly lived. As Kevin Magnussen goes down the start-finish straight ahead of him, we've got, I believe that's Carlos Sainz as well, our teammate, who's going to go around the outside of Max Verstappen if he can hold it, which he can't. Max Verstappen's got a bit more downforce, but it was a good opportunity for our teammate to overtake the sister Red Bull car. But Max Verstappen's gone wide, he's going to hit the wall, and our teammate is going to collect him as well. So that's going to be damage to the Toro Rosso. But lap 2, we are coming to have a look at Kimi Raikkonen having a bit of a fight with Danny Rick. So yeah, he's going to be struggling to hold on to that position, but Danny Ricciardo cannot get past Kimi Raikkonen as easy as he did before. We've got a little bit further back, we've got the Mercedes actually fighting now. So it's the Mercedes on two different tyres. So the Mercedes are splitting their strategies, and it looks like it's working for Valtteri Bottas on the ultra soft. But is he going to get pinched by Hamilton? Yes, he is. So Hamilton is going to keep that position ahead of Valtteri Bottas. So it's an interesting, all those tyre strategies are all split through the field at this point. Ourselves, we're going to come in here on lap 3. Going to come into the pit lane and put on our only stop of the race. But again, we're following now with Valtteri Bottas. So Hamilton, I think, is going to be under a bit of pressure here from his teammate coming down the back straight. Valtteri Bottas is going to look to the inside line. He's going to get past before the braking zone, it looks. But we've got the Haas of, I think that's Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen following in suit. So Romain Grosjean looking to go down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be very tight as Hamilton squeezes him against the inside wall, but Hamilton has lost a lot of ground. Just look at the gap Bottas has got all in the start-finish straight. Grosjean throws his hand up in frustration about not being left enough space, and Hamilton still not giving him any space even into this corner. He's just going to hug the inside apex and Grosjean's just going to have to get over with that. But we're going to look at another Sergio Perez, who is in trouble. He's in quite a way down the field in terms of position, but he's going to have a look at his teammate as well. As again, quite a lot of inter-teammate battles. The Force Indians like battling each other on the same tyre. He's going to squeeze Esteban Ocon. He's going to have the inside line for turn 2, but outside line goes to Esteban Ocon, and so does the traction. Esteban Ocon holds that position against his teammate of Sergio Perez. We're going to move forward now. We're going to look at Daniel Ricciardo having a look now on Kimi Raikkonen. He's going to make a move into the hairpin. Even before he gets to the hairpin, his front wing was just ahead of the Finns. But nonetheless, Daniel Ricciardo has taken back the lead of this Grand Prix, and that is Valtteri Bottas into the pit lane. So when he comes back out, he'll most likely be behind ourselves. We've got Sebastian Vettel way down the order after his pit stop. He's got Lance Stroll, I think, or Felipe Massa just behind him at this point. So the pack shuffled a little bit. A few of the faster cars are a bit down there. Vettel overtaking Marcus Ericsson, so you can tell he's not having a great day. But as it stands, there are a few cars that are a bit out of sync. Ourselves are down in 13th. Going to have a look at Sergio Perez coming down into turn 1. We're going to have a look. We're closing, and we just about miss him coming into turn 1. But we need to move forward because that's our teammate Carlos Sainz, who's going around turn 2, and he's actually going to get ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. So Daniel Ricciardo is out and into the lead, and he's got clean air. Carlos Sainz is going to try and hold up Raikkonen, I assume, and he took out a bit of the Renault for good measure. So that was Hulkenberg he clipped ahead of us. We're going to try and dispose of Alonso as best we can. Trying to go around the outside. That's not going to work on Fernando Alonso. We've got the leaves blowing in our face. But that's like a flashback to 2012 between Alonso and Hamilton. But this time we're going to go past Fernando Alonso and get the move done into the chicane. So up into P8, just behind Stoffel Van Dorn. But a little bit further back, we've got Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas trying to get past the Sauber. I'm pretty sure that's Vettel up the road, so they're behind the Ferrari at the moment. But the Mercedes are stuck in traffic. I'm pretty sure that both Mercedes will get past the Sauber coming down the DRS straight. The Sauber's going to have no answer when it comes to the Mercedes, but the Sauber's just going to probably hang it in there for Hamilton at least. He cuts the chicane, and as does Hamilton just a little bit. But that means both Mercedes are through into the position. But moving on to the next lap, we can see Kimi Raikkonen and Carlos Sainz are actually fighting for second place, and I think Carlos Sainz is going to have to give this position up unless he can get good traction on the exit. But no, he loses it, so that means Kimi is through into P2, Carlos drops down into P3. But further back on this lap, you can see all the cars are going everywhere. There's such a massive train, and I believe that is ourselves holding up the train. But we just got past Felipe Massa, so that's very good. We've got the two Haas cars now fighting with Marcus Ericsson. It's going to be 3 abreast coming into turn 1, and he's going to get pinched, and that is Magnussen round and spinning. He's had a really good race, a fantastic qualifying, and now he ended up in the grass. Well, that's kind of disappointing. And speaking of grass, we just put our tyre in the grass. That's going to put us in real problems with Felipe Massa. There's a lock-up with one of the Renaults a bit further back, but it's going absolutely mad in terms of on-track battles. There's so many cars all bunched up, and you can see Sebastian Vettel overtaking a Force India as well. So there's literally so much action going, and we're going to try and do our best to keep Massa at bay. We climbed the curb, but we're going to get the job done, and hopefully Stoffel Van Dorn can get that position. But we've got Lance Stroll now, who has made his pit stop too. He's going to be squeezed by a Force India. This is going to be very difficult. Again, 3 wide. He's going to lock his tyres. There's going to be contact between Esteban Ocon, and he's actually going to get overtaken by at least one of the Mercedes, if not 2, which now it does look like it's going to be 2, all because Lance Stroll went into the side of him. So that was really, really unlucky, but no time to dwell on that. We've got a Renault that's going very slowly. We've got a McLaren that's going around the outside. We've got a Force India moving to the left. We've got both Mercedes moving to the left, Williams to the right. There's so much going on at this point in time. There's 5 cars going into the same corner. This is absolute madness. And after all that, I don't even think the Renault's going to lose the position because he'll have the inside line. Let's just hope that he doesn't put it into the wall. But no, Sergio Perez is going to battle him, and it looks like he went into the wall, to be honest. Lap 11, we've got Felipe Massa, and oh my lord, that is a humongous crash. That is Pierre Gasly that has just gone into the wall from a hit from behind from Felipe Massa. That looked like an awful crash. That looked awful. We're going to have to take a look at that in a minute, but we got Lance Stroll at the meantime going past the Sauber and still keeping ahead of the Mercedes at this point. That did look like a really, really bad crash. Let's have a look on board at what Pierre Gasly saw. So he's going down the start-finish line, and it's essentially just gone dead because of the camera feed. But it's interesting because we're going to have a look at the rear view camera. This should be fine. We should not have a loss of signal at this point. But that's a few spins and a half, that is. We're going to have a look, hopefully, on board at someone else's on board, hopefully Massa. But in the meantime, we've got Lance Stroll is having a blinding race at this point. He keeps on moving up positions. He's looking to overtake the Force India of Sergio Perez, and then he can take down the Renault. So it looks like the Renault actually got ahead of him, which is a fantastic job from them. He's going to have to go the long way round. He's putting on a great show at his home race. Sebastian Vettel down even further, so he had to take another pit stop because he had a puncture from the debris of Pierre Gasly's incident. We're going to have another look at that now. So you can see Felipe Massa just going. He turns into the back of Gasly, and Gasly just gets thrown over the sausage curb, and he spins way too many times. On board now, hopefully we can see he just jerks to the right and then tries to go to the left and just clips him, but he almost got taken out by Pierre Gasly as he flew over the curb. Stoffel Van Dorn's on board. You can see he just almost completely takes out Felipe Massa. We can't worry about that too much. We've got a Force India in between the two Mercedes, and it looks like Lewis Hamilton is not going to lose out too much time as he's going to have DRS. I'm pretty sure Esteban Ocon or Sergio Perez, whichever Force India it may be, is going to struggle because he was ahead. That's Carlos Sainz in the pit lanes. Carlos Sainz is making his first stop. He's doing a fantastic job. He was P3. Let's see where he comes out, but like I said, both Mercedes are past the Force India. Lewis Hamilton again climbing the curbs. He's going to lose so much time, and sadly the Force India is not going to be able to make a move, but the Mercedes are going to be side by side as they come into turn 1. This could get very dangerous, but it looks like Valtteri Bottas just backed off just a little bit just to make sure. But I'm going to have a look, see what's going on here. That's Lance Stroll in P5, currently P4. Nick Hulkenberg takes a pit. So Lance Stroll in his home race has made it into P4. That is a fantastic job, as Sebastian Vettel is going to go around on Kevin Magnussen at the hairpin. Sebastian Vettel kind of having to do a recovery drive as he lost a pit stop he didn't necessarily want and or need. But looking back at Hulkenberg a few laps later after his pit stop, and he has had one hell of a mighty engine blowout. That is a huge plume of smoke coming out the rear of that Renault engine. That's definitely not what he wanted to see when he looked into the back of his movers. I'm pretty sure Lewis Hamilton got a whole bit of smoke in his face at the same time for his troubles. Good old Renault engine. We've got Felipe Massa now having a look. I think that's got to be Max Verstappen. It has indeed. He's going to go around Max Verstappen, try and hold the position. This is for the back end of the point at the moment. So Max Verstappen really not having issues with circuit. He just been in traffic and he just has been really struggling. Again, it's just an awful crash. Hopefully Pierre Gasly is okay. We'll find out a little bit later on. I'm sure we can have Nick report on that for you. Anyway, Felipe Massa is on the charge. He overtook Max Verstappen. He just took the Haas of, I think, Romain Grosjean. So Felipe Massa is flying just as much as Sebastian Vettel is. Verstappen's locked up. Vettel's going to go around the outside. Sebastian Vettel is on a charge. Remember, he was back in like 15th after his second pit stop. He's made himself up into the points paying positions. This is a great shot on the inside of Verstappen's wheel. You can see the Ferrari going round it down the inside at the hairpin. So Sebastian Vettel is on a charge, but he might have to defend from a charging Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's going to look to the inside, and he's going to go side by side, but the Red Bull engine just doesn't have it. Doesn't have the beans to keep up with the Scuderia Ferrari. But there, right there, is your race winner. Daniel Ricciardo is going to come through and take the win here in Canada. Fully deserved win. He's miles ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, and as you can see, he just absolutely cleared the field of any doubt of who's going to win that. But who's going to win this battle is Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. They are fighting still to the last corner. Lewis Hamilton's going to look down the inside of Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton's going to climb the curb. Is he going to lose out? They're going to be side by side, but Lewis Hamilton's got a little bit of extra drag down the start finish straight. It's going to be close, but Lewis Hamilton does take the win in that teammate battle. I got ahead of myself there. Lewis Hamilton did manage to take 5th place ahead of Valtteri Bottas, but it was an almighty close battle. But there is your race winner, Daniel Ricciardo, won from pole. Been a bit of a struggle, but he definitely deserved it. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Won't be too long away, but Baku is going to be interesting, especially trying to see what happens with Pierre Gasly. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Daniel Ricciardo managed to convert his pole into the race win after a battle with Kimi Raikkonen. Carlos Sainz took a stunning 3rd place to round out the podium, and Lance Stroll took a fantastic 4th in front of his home crowd. Both Mercedes battled throughout the race, however only managing 5th and 6th. Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen stole the final few points after making their way back through the field, the two-stop strategy not working out for them today. Pierre Gasly endured a horrific crash after being hit from behind by Felipe Massa. As it stands, Pierre Gasly is in the VM Medical Centre, 7.5 kilometres from the track. Felipe Massa has been hit with a 3-race ban. It looks as if Pierre Gasly will not be participating in the European Grand Prix.